Hey everybody, this is Sam Taylor, back again for episode 2 of Cancer Cure Bus. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how I am wired. And I'm going to introduce to you one of the greatest books I ever read, one of my favorite business books that really changed my life. And frankly, it's a book I think everybody needs to read. That book is a book by a gentleman named Marcus Buckingham, Now Discover Your Strengths. And that's the book that changed my life forever. The introduction is actually one of the best parts of the book because it talks about how the brain works and how the brain gets wired. And it's in those early formative years, between ages maybe 6 through 12, where the brain is forming and it learns how to think and respond, and that's how the brain gets wired. And what Marcus talks about is every person has 34 talent themes, but we have them in different order, in a priority order, number 1 through 34. And it's determined based on those formative years and what you kind of go through and in those early years and how you're formed. It's important to understand those 34 talent themes and the order, number 1 through 34. And his point is you focus on the top 5. And the top 5 talent themes, if you focus on them and turn them into strengths, that will lead to happiness in your life. And that's what I've done. And that's why I'm so happy and why I've been so successful is following the principles in this book. A lot of times we know what our strengths are, but we also know what our weaknesses are. So if you look at your top 34, the bottom 2, bottom 5, a lot of times we say, well, I know I'm weak on those. I need to focus on my weaknesses. Marcus says, forget about it. Don't. It's a waste of time. You will never fix those bottom 2. So don't worry about the weaknesses. Focus on the top 5. And now what I want to do is talk to you about my top 5 talent themes and how I was able to turn them into strengths. My number 1 theme is maximizer. What maximizers do is maximizers use strengths for their own personal development and also for a team development. So when they're putting together a team, they assemble a team based on strengths, and that's what I've done. At Oriental Trading Company, one of the first things I had all of us do, the executive team, I had us all take the Gallup Strengths Finder because I wanted to see the team that I had, what were their top 5, and see what I had to work with, and make sure we had a nice balance of strengths across the executive team. Because what maximizers are all about is taking something that's good and making it superb. Every company I went to, when I walked in to the Walt Disney Company, to Land's End, to Best Buy, to Hewlett-Packard, I walked into turnaround situations. Even Oriental Trading Company. Every job I've walked into was a turnaround. I love turnarounds. And I realized why, because I'm a maximizer. Why turnarounds? Well, because a maximizer comes in and sees something, it's good, but I can see the potential of what it can become and make it superb. And that's why turnarounds are so much fun. And my whole career has been built on turnarounds. Number 2 talent theme, achiever. Achievers have a lot of energy, have a lot of stamina, work hard. My wife jokes. Her nickname for me is the Pink Energizer Bunny. So achievers, lots of stamina, work hard, very driven, results-oriented, goal-oriented. That's me, number 2 achiever. All right, my number 3 talent theme is futuristic. People that have that as a talent theme are inspired by the future. When all of a sudden the internet started taking off. And I was working for Walt Disney at the time, and I remember seeing what was happening with e-commerce. And I said, this is going to change everything forever. And then from that moment, I dedicated my career to e-commerce, and that became my passion. And that's the futuristic in me. And that's been my focus for the last 18, 20 years, has been e-commerce. Number 4, for me, talent theme, is competition. So I'm very competitive. People that have competition high, they want to win. Always want first place. And for me, in high school, I was, valedictorian, 4.00 GPA. Had to be number 1 in class, and I was. College, same thing. At my college, chemical engineering, had to be number 1. I was valedictorian, 3.99. But that's the competition to me. Always got to win. But I like to win as a team. It's not about me as an individual. And there's nothing more than I love is pulling that team together. That's where the maximizer comes in. Pull the team together and then working some of the right team and then winning as a team. My number 5 talent theme is called WOO. W-O-O, WOO. Sometimes it stands for winning others over. And people with high WOO, what they like to do is they love breaking the ice, meeting people. And they love talking about their vision, convincing people of the vision that they have. I highly recommend this book. Couldn't recommend it more highly. Marcus Buckingham, Now Discover Your Strengths. The great thing is when you buy the book, you get a code, at least you used to, I hope it's still the case, when you buy the book, you get a code that lets you go into the Gallup Strengths Finder tool, and you can take the questionnaire, and you can get your top 5. So at least you know your top 5. Remember, keep your faith, stay strong. You will find peace. May God bless you and your families. Thanks.